The entity Valak, in the form of the demonic nun, is the main antagonist of the Conjuring Universe horror franchise. Its most notorious cases unfold in the films, which present it as an ancient demon seeking to corrupt faith and possess souls. Here are the main cases and events involving the nun Valak in the franchise's timeline. The origin case. The Kartzel Monastery, the Nun 1952. Valak's origin in the nun form dates back to an isolated monastery in Romania, the Broken Seal centuries earlier. A duke summoned Valak at the monastery, but Vatican clerics managed to stop him, sealing the dimensional rift with the blood of Christ, a sacred artifact. However, a World War II bombing weakened the seal. By 1952, the demon was almost entirely free. The possession and the disguise. Valak takes the form of a nun to mock the faith of the religious women and begins to terrorize the location. The Vatican sends Father Burke and Sister Irene, who has psychic visions similar to those of Lorraine Warren, to investigate the suicide of a nun. The confrontation. Valak attempts to possess Sister Irene. The temporary defeat. Irene manages to temporarily banish Valak back into the rift using the blood of Christ. The final deception. The entity, however, had already managed to possess Frenchy Theriold, one of the helpers who accompanied the duo. The trio leaves the monastery believing Valak is sealed. Valak is, in fact, traveling with them in Frenchy's body. The start of the hunt. The Nun 2, 1956. 4 years after the monastery events, Valak uses Maurice, Frenchy, to cause a wave of desecrations and murders across Europe, searching for an ancient Christian artifact. The school case. Valak terrorizes a Catholic boarding school in France. Its main target is a hidden relic at the school, the eyes of St. Lucy, a martyr. The entity believes that by possessing the eyes, it will gain immense power, amplifying its ability to manipulate faith. Irene's return. Sister Irene is once again sent to investigate the spreading evil, realizing that Valak survived inside Frenchy's body, the fiery confrontation. The final battle takes place in the school chapel. Valak attempts to use the power of St. Lucy's eyes to burn Irene alive. The monastery of St. Agatha, high in the misty Romanian mountains, held a centuries-old secret. A rift sealed with the blood of the ancient holy men, a seal that imprisoned the demon Valak. Valak was not a nun. He was, according to the ancient grimoires, the Lesser Key of Solomon, the 62nd Spirit, a powerful president of hell who commanded 38 legions. His original form was a pale boy with angel wings, riding a two-headed dragon. His power was rooted in corruption and cobiça, specializing in locating hidden treasures and controlling serpents. He was banished after being summoned by a dark duke centuries ago. Vatican clerics managed to seal him beneath the monastery. Trapped, Valak hated the constant devotion of the nuns above. He desired the ultimate corruption, to mock and destroy the very faith that imprisoned him. The opportunity came during World War II. An accidental bombing shattered the ancient seal just enough. Valak, sensing the fear and doubt among the isolated nuns, began to leak through the fissure. He discarded his boy with the dragon form. He chose a new disguise, one that would cause the deepest terror. He solidified his presence as a figure of blasphemy. A nun in a habit, her face spectral and eyes filled with malice. This form was the perfect antithesis to the purity of the monastery. His goal shifted from guiding mages to treasure to feeding on pure, existential fear. He tormented the nuns, twisting their holy vows and turning their sanctuary into a hell. The true crime of Valak's final form is not just the murder, but the profound mockery of the sacred. The Freira Demoniaque, a nun, a figment of James Wan's imagination inspired by a vision of Lorraine Warren, became the perfect weapon, an eternal symbol of corrupted purity. Valak, the president of hell, found that his most terrifying power was not the dragon, but the ability to weaponize an image of God's own grace. He remains a constant shadow where faith is strongest.
The Vatican's view on Valak. Summary. The perception of Valak must be split into two domains: the ancient demonology texts and the modern horror films. Valak in church doctrine. Reality. The Catholic Church acknowledges the existence of demons as fallen angels who oppose God, but it does not recognize Valak specifically by name or rank as described in the occult literature. Forbidden text. Valak, or Valak, is listed as the 62nd spirit in the Lesser Key of Solomon, a medieval grimoire. The Church considers this text to be occult and forbidden. Therefore, it does not endorse the hierarchy of presidents or the fanciful descriptions, like a boy on a two-headed dragon, found in it. Generic evil. For the Vatican, Valak is simply another agent of the devil. Exorcists focus on the nature of the evil present, not on validating the specific names found in demonology texts. Valak in the Conjuring universe, fiction. In the films, the Vatican treats Valak as a major and recurring threat, often operating in secrecy. Recognition and action. The Vatican is deeply aware of Valak's existence and power. In The Nun, 1952, they immediately dispatch agents, Father Burke and Sister Irene, to the Romanian monastery, indicating institutional knowledge of the seal and the ancient danger. The blasphemy. The demon's choice to assume the form of a nun is seen by the fictional church as the ultimate act of blasphemy, a direct and perverse mockery of their faith and sacred vows. This makes the entity particularly dangerous. The Warren connection. The Vatican implicitly endorses the work of investigators like the Warrens when they handle cases too powerful or profound for local clergy, such as the exorcism of Maurice, Frenchy, Theriot, which was tied to Valak. In short, while the real Vatican does not officially recognize Valak by name, the fictional Vatican views the demonic nun as a high-level, profoundly blasphemous threat that requires immediate and secretive intervention. The evasion. The case begins in 1952, in the Nun film. After being temporarily banished back to the dimensional rift at Kartsa Monastery, the demon Valak, in an act of extreme cunning, manages to attach itself to and possess the body of Frenchy, Maurice Theriot, the guide who was helping Sister Irene. This allows Valak to escape the ceiling and enter the outside world. The destruction. Valak uses Frenchy's body for years, traveling across Europe, spreading death and desecration. This period of possession, narrated in the Nun Thanku, involves Valak searching for greater power and forcing Frenchy to commit evil acts against his will. The case is brutal due to the total corruption of an innocent person's soul, the tragic exorcism. The culmination of the horror occurs years later when the Warrens become involved in Frenchy's exorcism. Footage of this event shows that the ritual was extremely violent and failed to destroy the demon. Valak, acting through Frenchy, caused the death of one of the priests involved in the session. This case is the worst because of its persistence, lasting decades, and its direct consequence.